change the title. I've been racing around trying to get everything right here. Akil came down. Um, I'll speak on this. I'll speak on this because this is a serious, this is serious, really serious. But welcome to the breakdown, episode 57. We'll get into all the trending topics. CPI numbers came out. We'll talk about the Ethereum Merge. Obviously, it's only like a day and some change away. People are excited. They're putting on their unicorn outfits. So we'll go ahead and touch on that today. Let me get the Twitter Space crew out here and live. What's going on, everybody? I'll say what's up to you guys as well on Twitter Spaces. We are live on YouTube, so you can tune in and see my gorgeous face. I know. I know. No, listen, I'm not arrogant about it. I'm just saying, like, you can tune in and see a work of art. Shout outs to my parents. Thank you so much for getting drunk that night. All right. Episode 57. We got news to go ahead and talk about, right? We got news to talk about. I just, from one standpoint, I don't understand how people don't see like how the markets actually work, the manipulation that is done. But we'll talk about that. We'll dive deep into it. We'll get some people up here to um, give their own thoughts on everything. But again, tune into YouTube. The link is in the chat box. You could tune in and again look at a work of art, a masterpiece. Shout outs to mom and dad. God rest your soul, dad, for creating the voice box as well, because like without me, what would you do? You'd be bored. All right, come on, let's keep it 100. Like everybody else is pretty much snooze fest. Let me turn on my laptop. By the way, Akil Patterson is not here. Akil Patterson is not here. He's not here. He called in this morning and stated that he has the sniffles. He has the sniffles. I said, "Can you make it? Can you make it on and at least troop it out?" And he said, "I can't. Nose is stuffed. Feeling sick." So end the year when the contract comes up and we need to renew, we'll be looking into, does this guy battle through injuries, or does this guy battle through having a little case of a cold? We shall see. We shall see. Right now, not looking good for you, Akil. Not looking good. Really not looking good. Got me all here by myself. And it's the last minute phone calls that I love. It's the 2 minutes before airtime, you get this phone call and it's just like, hey man, can't make it. And it wasn't even a phone call, by the way. It was a text message. Like, bro, I can't make it. Feeling sick. And I'm like brushing my teeth. I probably still have like stains on the shirt. Brand new shirt, by the way. I'm gonna do a Richard Hart here. Brand new shirt, $24.64, zero, $34.44. The hat, the jeans, $242. Yes, the jeans, I definitely, I go all out on jeans. Shirts, really, I keep it simple. Okay. So enough about Akil, enough about my clothing, enough about this beautiful face and the beard. Berries, berry juice is what I use. Berry juice. All right, cool. Let's get right to the topics, guys. Man, I like being alone. I actually like being alone. Fuck Akil. I like being alone. Might not renew your fucking contract. Look at this seat. It's like I'm sitting in the power seat right now. I'm like, anyway, let's go to the crypto news. And what do we have here for the crypto news? Okay, so Ethereum and Ethereum Merge, that's being reported by Benzinga. We have Markets Insider, Ethereum Merge Explain. Experts break down the crypto events risk. We have Bloomberg.com reporting on crypto traders hedge against ETH disappointment ahead of merge. So Bloomberg is at it today, guys. Bloomberg, they are at it. They are telling you that the Ethereum, basically, they're disappointed with the Ethereum merge. I'm actually disappointed that they're still reporting news. Am I wrong on that, or was that too much? Yeah, I'm actually disappointed that we are actually reading into these son of a bitches reporting from mainstream media that can care less about this fucking space. So disappointed there. Hold on, let me turn this on. Look at this. I'm producing. What's going on? Jay Hayes, shout out to you. Nice to see you. Who is this? CS Hawks, hello, David. Nice to see you live. Shout outs to you. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you. All right, what else is there? Latino Americans turning to dollar stable coins amid inflation surge. That's a new one. That was 43 minutes ago. We have The Guardian, my favorite. You guys know, if you guys have been listening to this show, you know, you know that The Guardian, by far, is my favorite media outlet, and I'm being sarcastic. Coinbase employee mirrored in first insider trading case involving cryptocurrency. Yo, how late are you motherfuckers? Like, how late? This is news that this was like 2 weeks ago or three. Really? Wow, you guys really suck. What was the other article, Alex, that they were reporting on that made me laugh?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but
Oh
there
no,
was a lot of Caravaggio news.
I remember. It was no, I don't remember. I'll find it. I lied. I thought I remembered it, and I did remember it for a second, and then it slipped my mind. Hopefully, no, I don't have Alzheimer's or anything like that. All right, or early stages. A bad year for crypto is a really bad one for crypto miners. The Wall Street Journal. Yo, fuck all these mainstream media outlets. I can't stand them, man. I really can't stand them. I despise them. US inflation. Let's go to that. US inflation higher than expected in August. Bitcoin dips 4%. So, this is a subject that I want to touch on. You're going to go ahead and tell me that because it was point 0.2 higher than last month that it caused this kind of dip? Really? I got a bridge to fucking sell you. I got a bridge to fucking sell you. Literally got a bridge to sell you. The manipulation in this market is insane. It is insane. 0.2? Really, Alex?
Can I at least get BNB to climb above $300? Like, goddamn.
It's never gonna happen.
Like, it gets there 295, 297. I'm like, should I sell some? 29. I'm like, oh yes, here we go. $260. It's like I'm in the SpongeBob metaverse. Like, I'm like, yes, I'm being optimistic. 1 hour later, minus 50%.
I am literally like Alex. I woke up and I saw the numbers, and I was like, "We are the markets are crashing because of point two." No, no. It's like, come on. Like I tweeted this out today. I was like, if you have not learned, if you have not learned anything in this market, it's time to call it quits. Honestly, it's time to call it quits and ask your paid group leader for a refund. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah. We need people to exit and new people to come in. We need that I can't recall the term, but we need people to leave. Like in the previous bull run, people got wrecked and they left, and new people came in. We need that. And this is the problem with NFTs. I love NFTs, but it's making people like just stuck, neither buying nor selling, and just kind of like adding to this sideways tension. I don't really care personally about this little dip. People are going to sell, but I think we're in for a long haul. I think we're in for months and months, but who knows really.
Researching it today, it is believed that it was higher because people didn't stop buying food. So now you know what's going to happen. 0.75 is coming again. Rates are, I mean, like, they're going to raise, the Fed's going to raise rates again. And I can see 0.75. You know what? I can actually see 1 point. I can actually see them going as far as doing 1 point. Just to get the numbers down. Just to get people to stop spending money. I mean, they've done a great job with that already. They've done a great job with it. But what do you expect? People not to buy food? So you want you want people to starve? Either way, what's going to come is election year. You know, the elections, people ain't not they are definitely not going to lose their jobs over this shit. At some point they're gonna start printing. Well, they're fucking still printing. Yeah, I'm acting like they're not printing. They are printing. They are continuing to print, but they will make an announcement that they're going to go back to printing, and they're going to send out some sort of relief. They're going to lower they're going to lower the rates a little bit to let people breathe, just so they can win some seats, and then we're going to go back to this. I just rather get this over with, honestly speaking. I'd rather just get this shit over with and have them continue to raise these rates and get rid of inflation. So if it takes a year and a half, okay, I'm fine with it. Literally, I am fine with it. Everything else in the news, by the way, is all about the CPI numbers. So we'll get into it. We'll chat with the crowd here. We'll bring some people up to go ahead and go back and forth on this. Pretty much everything else is pretty dead. Twitter, I'd like to address Twitter on something. I can't even talk to anybody anymore. I cannot have a conversation with anybody on Twitter. Period.
Twitter's a mess.
I
Twitter has so many issues.
Do you see, like, every single time that I tweet, how many bots attack me? Like, it is like there is like 40. There's already 40 bots on my tweet. I don't know who. If it's, like, by the way, please don't be offended. If I haven't replied to you, I just haven't seen your tweet. I really have not seen your tweet. I see the fake CZs. I see now verified Vitalik accounts, which aren't verified, meaning like it's not really him. They're verified, but they're just, somebody hacked into verified accounts and switched up the name. And the YouTube links to Uniswap. Like, that's all I see. That it is all, Twitter, like, fucking, like, you gotta do something about this shit, man. This shit is crazy. Like, I really, honestly, I sat back, I said, I can't use this platform anymore.
Like, it's a literal nightmare. It's done a lot of good, don't get me wrong, but the fact that Twitter allows me natively on my desktop to attempt to schedule a tweet in the past, following up by saying you can't tweet in the past, is a user experience failure. You do error prevention. You don't let someone tweet in the past. You just stay with the current day and days moving ahead. You go to schedule a space and you set the time, you change your mind to come back, you lost all your details, start all over again. There's so many issues and maybe that's why Elon's like, fuck this shit. He's like, I'm out. Maybe he looked, he opened the laptop He's like, all right, let's take a look at the code. He's like, bun this. I'm out. I'm gone. Hide your kids, hide your wife. I'm out of here. Like high slippage, sell. I don't care, because Twitter definitely has a lot of issues. One of which, like you said, the bots. I mean, we put a poll on Gokhshtein. If I had a penny for every Twitter bot, I'd be a billionaire, trillionaire, or quadrillionaire. And 52% said quadrillionaire. So yeah, so it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah,
We navigate the bot life.
You know what I think he's going to do? I mean, I think he made the ultimate chess move, because now they're gonna have to show documents, and when Twitter has to present these documents about how many users are on this platform, real users, I think that $44 billion number goes half price, and I see him still buying the platform for like 20 billion.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Which would be a steal, and then with him at the helm, with the right mindset, I can see him just changing. Like, obviously, I can see him getting rid of the bots. I'm sure he'd make an effort to go ahead and do so. And then this company, Twitter, becomes like he 5 times his investment on it. I really see that with Elon. And I know there's a lot of Elon haters, but like if there's somebody, and I said this before, if there's somebody that can turn it around, I would say that one of those people would be Elon Musk. But we got to get rid of these fucking bots. Like, it's impossible. How do you have conversations? How do you have conversations? I can't have conversations anymore. Unless we're in spaces, there's no conversation. There is zero conversation. So, Twitter, get on your game, man. Seriously, people come on here to shoot the shit. It was fun before. It was a lot of fun before. Now, I mean, like, you have people turning off their replies. Like, I've seen people turn off their replies, and only people that know or follow or are followed by that person can reply back. That's crazy. That is crazy. Richard Hart has turned off his replies. And he said, like, yo, until Twitter fixes it, I'm not turning them back on because I'm not fighting the bots. And you know what? I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to sit here, block all these people and report them, and nothing happens. It's almost like the Matrix with Agent Smith. Just like, you think you got him, and then all of a sudden 5 more show up. If anybody doesn't know that for reference, go just go tune into the Matrix trilogy. You'll understand what I mean by that. Fuck.
Hey, what's his name? The old man that Neo goes to, and he's got all the screens.
Yeah.
That guy doesn't even stand a chance against the Twitter bots. That guy's gonna hang himself, man.
Did you know I never knew that was Jet Li?
Wait, what?
That was Jet Li, the guy that was protecting the Oracle. That was Jet Li.
Well, that's news to me. I didn't know.
I didn't know that either. He was given an interview, and they said that was Jet Li.
Are you trolling right now?
I'm not. I swear. It was Jet Li.
I'll take your word for it.
Listen, he moved like Jet Li. I don't know. Like when he fought Neo, he moved like, okay. We'll lose everybody because half this room has never heard of the Matrix. I don't think half this room goes outside anymore. So anyway, so that's the news, guys. That is the news. Sponsored by. Oh, by the way, this is sponsored by Unstoppable Domains. Shout outs to Unstoppable Domains. Go get yourself an NFT domain name. I'm sure you'll be so happy with one. The link is on GokhshteinMedia.com. Right now, obviously, you see I'm shorthanded. Akil called out because he got a little cold. So the little bitch couldn't make it here today. But that's fine. I can do this by myself. I ain't scared to come on live by myself. I ain't scared to host a program by myself. I've been doing it for years. I was about to go into like it's made me an animal. It's like you remember that's never mind. Anyway, let's get right into it. By the way, shout out to Unstoppable Domains. They sponsor this show and they also sponsor the late night news with G Media, powered by G Media and sponsored by Unstoppable Domains. So seriously, go get yourselves a domain name. That is advice. Go get yourself a domain name, an NFT domain name. You'll be happy. You'll thank me later. All right, let's bring some people up. Let's go ahead and chat about the current markets. Let's also talk about some stuff outside of this fucking market. Fucking boring just to talk about the same shit constantly. Who's up here? Yo, you know what? Akil, you should have made it to work. Because now I'm gonna make Alex the co-host today. Alex is filling in, the guest co-host today. Hi, Alex. Oh, I can always depend on Canada. I can always depend on Canada. Let's bring up a Caribbean Queen, Caribbean Crypto Queen. What's going on? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. If you're boring, I'm throwing you out. I don't care what gender. Caribbean Crypto Queen.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I heard that Akil was being a little bitch this morning. He knocked out for a cold, so I'm sorry, Akil, you're not here today.
He's being a little bitch. He's being a little bitch. That's I mean like it's honest. Like I would have if I would have had COVID, I would have been up in this bitch.
I mean, yeah. I guess Akil changed generation.
You know what it is? They don't make men like me anymore.
Oh,
that's the problem.
I knew you were gonna say something like that.
Because like I'm trooping it out. I'm in. This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity, right, boys and girls? Crypto, Bitcoin, CPI numbers coming out. You're gonna miss it today. You're a little bitch. What's on your mind though, Caribbean?
Well, originally when I asked to come up, it was when we were talking about Twitter, and about the fact that it's getting ridiculous with the bots and all that, and yeah, I guess that's the part I was trying to chime in, and especially considering the fact that I mean, it's been known for even years because I think even Disney tried to buy it back in 2016 and they backed off on that because of the fact that they realized, um, the way that it's advertised as, there's a lot of people on Twitter and it's not true. So I think maybe there's still that glimmer of hope that once the court thing settles out, that actually Elon might end up buying it with, for a lower price eventually.
Again, like I stated earlier, I think Elon plays chess and everybody else plays checkers. The IQ levels 50, Elon 120. Like this is like taking like he makes everybody look dumb. Like he's so ahead of the game on everything.
Yeah.
Like he got a woman pregnant. Like he got a chick pregnant in his company. And he made sure to come out with this news. He didn't come out with the news, but he set the narrative in motion. So he comes out weeks beforehand and he's like, yo, it is good to go ahead and make babies. Yo, my dude, right there, my dude is like, yo, it's okay to go ahead and we need to make babies. We need to impregnate everybody. Like he's out there like, yo, like we all need to have sex. Period.
Right.
And like and then the hit piece comes out from like Business Insider or some shit. Like Elon Musk impregnates an executive staff member. And this dude's like, yeah, like I'm out here trying to save the planet. Yo, this dude, I'm telling you, like the mastery. He should have a master class on how to impregnate people and get away with it. Like, you think the kids are gonna be mad? They ain't mad. Yo, you imagine you wake up and you finally realize that Elon Musk is your father. Like, I don't care if I ever see him. I'm balling. At 5 years old, I'm already leaving a deposit on a Ferrari.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, speaking of that same subject, I do think it's important to have, the presence of parents when it comes to raising a child. It's more than just money and things like that. I mean, although it's all fun and games, but at the end of the day, especially when you're looking at what society has become and where we're heading, like I think we need more of that. More people that are actually being active in their kids' life.
Stop this nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Okay? Stop the nonsense because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a fuck if he ever speaks to me. The dude has literally given his little son XYZ orbit, whatever his fucking name is. Like, motherfucker has Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and millions of dollars. Like, you think like buy?
I think he was trolling with that name. I think he was trolling.
No, but that's really his name. Like, it's XYB
No, I don't think so.
Orbit
There
Sun.
was an interview where he was like making fun of the name. He was like questioning the validity of the name. I think he just did that as a public stunt.
Listen, he can name me Milky Way XYZ Planet T36. Like, I don't give a fuck.
But you're right, though. He's so likable. He has great charisma. He's very his public perception is very likable and trustworthy. He comes off as a very professional, clean, well taken care of man. And like you said, like he controlled the narrative of that, right? Of having a child with whomever it was. I mean, you see like a CEO losing their job because of like a simple relationship. This guy's going full blown attack and controlling the narrative. And hey, he's like, yeah, the world needs more kids. And I mean, coincidentally, it does. I mean, there is an issue with population, how he explained furthermore, but yeah, he's definitely on some 420-69 IQ. Like he's. And I would say what.
Well, he's definitely he's definitely not. He has no problem with he definitely has no problem using his tools to go ahead and increase the population.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, not everybody is Elon. So I'm just saying, like, the rest of us that are hearing the message, this is not we need to take away from it. Like, that's not how you do things. But yeah, I agree. I mean, if you're Elon Musk and you have, billions and billions of dollars, yeah, you can have a kid every, I don't know, twice a day. I don't know, whatever situation. Like he can manage that.
Wait, hold on. How are you having a kid twice a day?
Well, I mean,
what is this, the bakery?
You can have you can literally schedule it out where he has 2 women giving birth every day. Like that's possible.
Yo, why did I have this Rick James moment in my head just now? Like Elon Musk coming. Oh my god, I can't
is that like a pastry shop in New York, David? Like
I don't know. Hold on. Yo, time out. Because now you gave me a picture of I don't even know why I went into the subject. I'm at fault for this. Yo, hold on. I just literally got a flashback with him. You know that picture of him on the boat where he's white as hell? I've never seen a white person like that. I've never seen a white. Yo, seriously? Never. You want to talk about white people? That's a white person. Like he was white. White. He looked like somebody from what's that Will Smith movie? Men in Black. He looked like one of those aliens. Like somebody was inside of him controlling him. White as hell though.
Yeah, he looked white.
Oh my god. So I'm thinking you imagine
the irony was that he was on a boat, so you would assume that he's getting a sunbath, and I'm like, imagine.
He was getting bleached. He wasn't there. He got thrown into no. He was getting bleached. But you imagine this man walking into the bedroom. I don't know, man. Money does weird things to people. But moving on because I don't want to stay on Elon But it's just like he's just a master to end it. He really is a master at getting to things before they escalate. Because then, like, once it's out there, like I said, his nonchalant answer of like, so what? I'm doing something good for the environment or good for the population. What are you doing? So like you hit the hit piece comes out and it's almost like you want to say something, but now you feel guilty because you weren't doing it. Yo,
Yeah, what a way to flip the mainstream narrative, right?
Yeah, I love
it goes
it.
from like man being like promiscuous at work to he's saving the world by having children with the employees, right? So
what'd you do
very
today?
smart, very intelligent for sure.
What'd you
Yes,
do
sir.
today, Alex? I impregnated 5 people. What'd you do today? Oh, you on Spaces?
I have 2 women scheduled to give birth, and
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, that's the future.
You know what we need to do? We need to Acid, how do you feel about the subject? I know you just, you probably, burnt the blunt at like 4:30 in the morning while taking a piss. How do you feel about this right now?
I was actually waiting to speak after because I was taking a shit and I washed my hands and everything. So I was like, all right, perfect time to call my name. But yeah, how I feel about it. If you can afford it and the women are like, okay with it, then shit. If I was a billionaire like Elon Musk, bro, I would have more kids than Nick Cannon right now.
Oh my God, another one. But Nick Cannon ain't trying to save the world. His pullout game just sucks.
Yo, you know what?
Like he's not marrying anybody besides Mariah Carey. Like he's not with anybody that like has money. Like it's like his pullout game is super weak.
You know what? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, you got to think about that.
Leave Nick Cannon alone.
Well, listen, I have no beef with Nick Cannon except for like the dude tried to diss Eminem, and like that was like that's career suicide.
Oh,
like,
okay. So yeah, go ahead and rip on.
yeah, I mean, like that's stupid. Like, I mean, like whether you like Eminem or not, whether you bump his music in the car, like that's irrelevant. Like when it comes down to it, though, like you do not want to fuck with this man. Like he didn't even respond to the game when the game came out with this new diss track about Eminem. Like Eminem didn't even bother to respond because it was that whack. Like this dude talked mad shit about Eminem, literally like ripped him apart on all these podcasts and interviews, and then he lays out this track, 10-minute track, where he stated before like he's never listened to, he's only listened to like one album. He's only bumped one of Eminem's albums, yet he's literally hitting on every single topic from multiple Eminem albums. So Eminem really didn't really have to come out with a diss track. Like the dude literally buried himself, and it seemed like for a cry for help. But either the case, Nick Cannon, you cannot compare Nick Cannon to Elon Musk. You cannot compare the two. This dude is an idiot.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why he's an idiot. He has money. He has money, and he's giving it away. Like I can understand, like Elon's a different story. Like Elon has like I don't even know if you call it fuck you money. That's not fuck you money. That's like different money. I don't even have a like. I will figure out what to name that kind of money. But Nick Cannon, he got like millions of like. We have people that have more money in this space than Nick Cannon does, and they're 24 years old. Like Nick Cannon doesn't have that kind of money. Like, how many kids does he have? 14 now.
He's on like Soldier Boy Jr. tier. Like he needs to calm down. Like he's not. Why are you ripping on like? Why are you ripping on a legend? Like I love dance music. I'm not gonna go rip on Eminem because I know Eminem's legendary, super smart, rap genius, lyrical genius. Stay in your lane, But it's probably just like clout chasing.
I was about to say that it was
pride for clout.
Yeah, it was a clout thing. I don't think.
And Eminem did the best thing to just ignore the troll.
Yo, but think about this though. Remember Nick Cannon has Wild 'N Out. People paid on that show for sure. So he's been running that show for a minute, and they've been getting like high up people like celebrities on there too.
Yeah, but like still like he's. I mean, like okay, fine. If he's following Elon Musk's lead, and procreating.
No, that's not what he's doing.
I know he's not. Pullout game is super weak, man.
No, he's not.
Don't even compare Nick Cannon to Elon Musk, dude.
Didn't. You did. You did. I didn't.
Like, the generic crappy donuts, and then like they think of like the best donut in the world. Like don't even.
They're
It's no
not the
disrespect.
same time.
It's
not
it,
the
yeah.
same thing. It's not even
Exactly.
a
It's like
donut.
Krispy Kreme versus Hostess, bro.
Yo, we got a comment. We got a comment.
I wouldn't say hostess though.
We have a comment. Yo, this is funny. We have a comment from YouTube. It's that Cannon guy has some bloodline from some type of royalty, I think. First of all, stop. And second, the guy does have lupus and some other type of bacterial infection, so his life is declining. I mean, like, if that is the case, why are you transferring onto? Why are you transferring this shit onto the kids? Yeah, if you have like all these things that are wrong with you, you don't do that. The fuck? I'm just listen. At the end of the day, the guy. Listen, when Mariah Carey, he did the right thing. I'm gonna call it out right now. I'm gonna say what you guys don't want to say, and that is he did the right thing. Like she's worth millions upon millions of dollars. Like she don't even have to sing no more, and she got millions of dollars coming in. So like him doing what he did, that's a win.
Wait, what exactly did he do?
He impregnated her.
Locked her up, bro. What are you
Oh,
talking
okay.
about?
So you could say then he's getting carried by Mariah, then, right?
There you go. That should be a headline. We should report it on Gokhshtein Media.
He literally came into money, Alex.
New Gokhshtein Media news update: Nick Cannon getting carried by Mariah.
Lit-
Powered by Unstoppable Domains.
Hey, listen, it is a hot topic right now. We're talking about it, right? It is a hot topic. I think that some of the writers should go ahead and take issue to this and write it up. Write it up. Nick Cannon impregnated Carrie, but then shit gone wrong. Like some sort of article like that would really make me go ahead and try to read it. And I'm not good at reading. Source,
David,
what's up, Viking?
did you see this weekend? I know we talked a lot of football yesterday, but did you see Adrian Peterson get knocked out by Le'Veon Bell this weekend?
This is what happens. I mean, like, first of all, Bell looked like he's been training for some time. And
he did, didn't he? Yes.
And he really looks agile, and he looks like he knows what he's doing. In terms of like his body, the reflexes, he has that down pat. Like he doesn't look stiff at all. Whereas Adrian Peterson looked like, I mean, I would have probably forfeited if I was him. Like just because you're big doesn't mean that you're good.
Speaking of a guy that has a lot of kids, Adrian Peterson, he has like 9 kids from like 7 different baby mamas, right?
Listen, I was happy that he got knocked out. He was whipping his kids with fucking wires and shit. So Bell went ahead. Those kids that got, his kids that got beat by him with those wires, with those, iron hangers. You know the iron hangers I'm talking about, the ones that you get at the dry cleaners.
He was beating his kids with the metal hangers and
Yeah.
fucking extension cords, like fucking vacuum cords and shit, bro.
So those kids, that got hit, they were cheering Bell on. They were like, yes, dropped his ass. That's right, bitch.
What was crazy about it, and you said his reaction speed, the punch that knocked him out, it looked like it was a fake punch, and then he fucking threw it, bro.
It's kind of the same thing that what's his name did. That move was the same thing that, oh my god, that happened between Usman and Edwards. Edwards faked the jab in, then went with like the right, kind of faking that as well, and then kaboom, lights out, goodbye, see you later, don't want to hear from you anytime soon. What did he say? Pound for pound, headshot, dead. That's probably the best post game speech or line that has ever been hit on the UFC after a knockdown like that, or a knockout, I should say. He said, "Pound for pound, headshot, bang, dead." What's up, Ace?
His eyes rolled back too.
Yeah. That he was like, if you've seen the still picture of Usman on the floor, I was actually happy. I don't like him. I don't like none of these grapplers. I don't like Khabib. I don't know why Khabib gets talked, and I know people are getting their feelings about this, and I know we're on sports right now. We're gonna get back to cryptocurrency. Relax yourselves, guys. Get out of your thongs. Khabib to me is not a top, not even in the top 10. Not
But
even in the
David,
top 10.
I understand what you're saying there, but at the same time, you got to respect these boys coming out of Chechnya and coming out of Eastern Europe. These, okay,
Tell me, Viking, who did he fight? Who did he
What's that?
fight? Who did he fight?
I understand he hasn't fought anybody of notoriety yet. I would agree with
So
you
then
on that.
he
But he
retired
has
29 and
fought
0.
motherfuckers.
He retires 29 and 0. He really didn't fight anybody. He what? A punch drunk Gagey? That's not somebody. Yeah, like he can go toe to toe, but at the end of the day, you can beat him.
He's coming out of retirement to fight you. That's okay with you?
Who?
Khabib.
But that'll be a boring fight. Like that's not a fight. That's not fighting. Like the man, like I'm sorry, like he carries himself like he's the GOAT. He's not. He absolutely is not the GOAT. He's definitely like is not an interesting fighter. Like I'm more interested to watch John Jones. I'm interested. You can say whatever you want about McGregor, but you know what? McGregor didn't duck anybody. Not one person, not one person. He goes after everybody. You know what? I respect the guy who's willing to go out there and fight anybody than somebody that's trying to just have a perfect record. It's the same thing with Mayweather. Mayweather picked his fights to get to 50 and 0. Picked his
Yeah, I have
fights.
no respect for Mayweather whatsoever because of that throughout his career.
Yeah, did he fight Pacquiao when Pacquiao was in his prime? No, he waited until Pacquiao was on the decline. Like to me, real fighters are like Muhammad Ali. Fought anybody, didn't matter. I'm coming. I'm coming for you, and I want you at your best. Like
Fucking Tyson Fury, bro.
you know what? With Tyson, he's too big. Like he's a likable guy, but he's just goddamn too big, man. Like how do you beat him up? You can't. You can and this after Wilder hit him with that punch and knocked him like unconscious, and this dude gets up like the Undertaker. Like it's not even fair at that point. It's not like that was like a cheat code. When he got up, that was a straight up cheat code because that should have been like
R.I.P.
yeah, like I'm not a Wilder
R.I.P.
fan,
Bones Balmer.
but like he killed after that. I'm telling you, when he got up off the canvas, and Wilder saw that and couldn't believe that. He broke him. That is the day that Wilder got broke. Because if I was a professional athlete and I see this guy raise up after that kind of hit, I'm out. I'm broken. I don't know. I just hit this guy with everything I had, and this dude rolls. His eyes are rolled back like the Undertaker, but this dude is rising up. Get the fuck out of here! I'm done with this sport. I am done. You know what? I'm becoming a coach. I'm gonna train you.
Then he fought him again after that, David.
Stupid. Like after that, like it was just like there was no point in the fighting because he just was whipping his ass.
I want to see a rematch with Derek Lewis and Ilir Latifi.
Derek Lewis is actually funny. I find him to be a funny character. He said during one fight, he was like, I got kicked in the stomach. And somebody said, like, well, what happened? Because you look like really uncomfortable. And
My balls was
and he said, no, he said the reason why I was like that uncomfortable was because I felt like as soon as I got kicked, I was about to shit on myself. So I was trying to hold in my shit and not shit on national TV. Yo, this dude, like if you look up, Derek Lewis on YouTube and his funny moments, yo, literally, I was crying. Like this dude is hilarious. Literally hilarious. But okay, we talked about Elon impregnating people. We talked about Nick Cannon doing it, but it really doesn't really bode well for him. We talked about obviously the fights. Khabib, for me personally, not a fan favorite of his. Look, I'm not taking anything away from him. Anybody who steps into the cage deserves credit because listen, to go out there in the octagon and to fight somebody that takes a lot of balls. At any point in time, you can get injured, but for me, he just mauls people. It's boring. I'm not interested in the fight. I really am not interested in any of the fights, and I don't believe he should be ranked in the top 10. There are people.
What about Chimaev? I mean, how do you feel about that guy?
I think he has the possibility of being somebody who can dominate in the UFC. Yeah.
He reminds me of an Eastern European George St. Pierre, to where he can dominate that division.
I think he's nastier than George St. Pierre, and I love George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre, took up martial arts because he was bullied as a kid. So like he took his frustrations out in mixed martial arts. I have the ultimate respect for GSP. I think he was a phenomenal fighter. Like there's nobody that's ever going to come close to GSP, and there's not a person that's going to come close to Anderson Silva as well. And speaking of Silva, he's fighting Jake Paul. Jake Paul has done stuff in the NFT world and obviously in this crypto space. Now he's a professional boxer, and his next opponent is Anderson Silva. Even though he's 47 years old, Anderson can still fight. This is going to be
a bad motherfucker, bro. For a long time, he was the baddest man in the UFC, to the point where there was one fight where a guy came in right off the bell and tried to kick Anderson. Anderson grabbed the leg and fucking knocked him out with his hand, bro. It was so great. Had the guy's leg in his arm, and with his other arm, knocked him out.
Anderson is no joke. No joke. All right. Let's go Bitcoin, or let's go with Ethereum. Let's talk about crypto.
Yeah, I got a question. Do you guys think any Bitcoin fork out there overtake Bitcoin?
A fork?
Yeah.
Will overtake Bitcoin?
Yes.
Why would it?
I think it'll be top, but it won't. I don't think it will overtake.
And the reason I'm asking, because I don't know if a lot of people notice that there's a project called eCash that is a fork that is merging with the Avalanche consensus tomorrow. It's a lot of hype about the Ethereum news, but a lot of people don't realize that that's a sleeping giant. It's 21 trillion, with the decimal spot have moved to a 2 decimal spot instead of an 8. And so that's why I asked.
I'm not really interested. I'm not interested in any proof of work Ethereum projects or knockoffs.
No, it's actually a Bitcoin fork. It actually merging the POS with the proof of work.
I honestly, I'm only focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah. I can care less about everything else. Now, listen, I wish them the best of luck, but I really don't. I can care less. Okay. That's just me. Like I'm not trying to like. I ain't trying to just shove your question away. I'm just saying, to me personally, like I don't really care. Like there's gonna be a hell of a lot of things that fork off right now and tell you like this is the better way, kind of like BSV and that shit. But with their whole thing, like, oh, this is the real Bitcoin and shit like that. But like at the end of the day, I'm solely tuned into what Vitalik's working on and Bitcoin. That is it for me. I'm not. I ain't jumping around.
All I want to say is you probably want to just take a minute and look into that project before the herd come in. That's all I'm saying. Outside of that, I mean, I'm gonna let you keep.
How would you learn about the project?
Actually, I've been in Bitcoin since 2011, and
no, I mean this project.
Where did you? Project.
Yeah.
It's a part of Bitcoin. It's actually on the same Genesis block as Bitcoin up until 2017.
No, I'm saying where'd you learn about it? Like where'd you discover it?
I'm through. I don't know if you know Amari Sachet, which is the creator of Bitcoin Cash and now eCash. So following around that circle.
Okay, interesting.
But I just want to throw it out there, and maybe you guys take a look into it. And like I say, the big deal of it tomorrow is the Avalanche and the eCash actually merge. Where it actually adopted the Avalanche consensus to actually get that 5 million transactions per second. So I know it sounds kind of crazy, but like I say, do your own homework and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. From that, let's go back to listen.
What I'm looking at real hard right now, David, and I've been looking at it for about a month now, real hard, is Raven. Do you know anything about Raven, Dave?
Yeah, but I never got into it. I think, you know what? I did get into it and then I sold out of it.
And that's what happened with me years ago. I was mining it at the same time I was mining Litecoin when Litecoin was way up. But I mean, their proof of work, their blockchain that they've got going, it looks like a lot of the GPU miners are going to switch over to Raven because it's ASIC resistant as well.
People will switch over to Raven and they can have fun. I mean, again, like there will be plenty of there are plenty of places that all these miners can go to. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
The Ethereum Merge is a good thing. It POS. We'll see how it works out, and maybe just maybe this will be a direction that Bitcoin has to go into. And I know it's a touchy subject because oh my god, POW, like how dare you say that? But no, seriously, like as tech advances, like Bitcoin will have to look into Ethereum and see if it might help out their network.
We all know that won't ever happen. That's exactly what I'm talking about there is that ECAS is actually Bitcoin, and that's what is merging the POS. The name is just, the change of it is just a name, but the whole environment of Bitcoin is actually eCash. And so that's why I actually brought this conversation up because it's actually merging. I actually seen something yesterday where the president was talking about, removing Bitcoin and all of that. But actually, Bitcoin is eCash when you look into it and break it down. And so
you said Bitcoin is e-trash.
eCash.
Yeah, for sure. Bitcoin is trash, bro. You're right. David, you don't invest in anything good, bro. All you invest is Bitcoin and Ethereum.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I have about
cars, but fuck the circle. Like we don't even need that shit. Like why does it even exist? Like I'm all for wheels and rotation, but like what the hell is that circle, bro?
I invest into a lot of
Why is
things.
there?
I just I'm not particularly fond of that. That's all. Like I like Bitcoin. I will always be a Bitcoiner. I just appreciate everything else in this space. I'm not like these Bitcoin maxis that shit on everything. I have always been open minded to the technology that's being built in this space. That's it. I'm just not, whatever is being stated here is just like I've already learned from my mistakes with all these meme tokens and all these the next ones. Like no, I'm sticking with the original one, and I'm hoping that we can go ahead and build on the original ones and take it to the next level. There's no need to like, okay, we're working on this, but no, oh, this new thing came out. No, like I'm done with that shit.
Like every fucking project on every ecosystem, and if you really pay attention to it all, like I can see where you're coming from with that point of view because it gets to a point where there's so many venture capitalists on each individual chain making projects that appeal to people's desires. And it's after time, the rewards get slashed, APYs drop, and there's no real desire to use these platforms anymore. So it kind of takes, it puts a lot of speculation on the market, and takes confidence out. And that's how it is right now. But you got to check out like other things going on, like, regulations. And I know it's like these are buzzwords and everything at this point, like decentralized and Web3. But if you really check it out, like, Bitcoin and Ethereum are basically outdated tech at this point. That might be a hot topic or a touchy subject, but I firmly believe that they're outdated tech at this point, no matter how many forks, how many, protocols you want to try to add on to it, this, that, and the third. There's other things they're going to utilize.
Well, okay. If I take your analogy right there, real quick.
Could I clear this up right quick?
Hold on. Let me just say something. Let me say something real quick.
I'm not saying go out and buy anything. I'm saying do the research on it.
My whole thing with this entire topic is, Number one, by the way, none of the shit that's said here is for you to go ahead and buy anything. By the way, I don't recommend buying anything in this room. This is not financial advice. I just talk about random shit. I just want to make that clear in here, and it's recorded. Second, um, it's great to be open minded, but let's you say there are better things out there than Bitcoin and Ethereum. And listen, you might be true. You might be spitting a fact here, but but when you turn on your television, you don't hear them talking about Algorand. You hear them talking about Bitcoin. When you turn on the television right now, today, this week, you don't hear them talking about XLM. You hear them talking about the Ethereum Merge. So Bitcoin and Ethereum, whatever you want to go ahead and say about them, they are opening up the doors for everybody else. This entire thing about, oh, but this one is my favorite, so I'm going to put on my team jersey and I'm going to knock the next guy, is stupid. That's not how the space grows.
Yeah, no, that's dumb. That's dumb.
You could
But
say,
yeah,
hey, Algo is really good. Like, if has anybody looked at Algo's tech? It's phenomenal.
oh yeah, it's real good.
Yeah, but you know what sucks? Their marketing. Their branding and
That's not
marketing.
true. They got good marketing.
Where?
Here's the thing.
Where's the marketing source?
So
Where's the marketing from Algo?
so they're having FIFA. FIFA's going to be doing. They're going to be utilizing the whole chain for the FIFA for the World Cup this year. And the things with these chains is that they didn't focus all their attention on the marketing like Ethereum did. That's how they caught up. That's how they ate up all the retail, is having good marketing and things like that. Now they're stuck with a network that kind of is, it's limited essentially. And once developers realize this, they're gonna want to forget the miners, worry about the developers.
But how is Ethereum limited? What do you mean by that? Like, how is it limited?
Ethereum is limited greatly because if once developers realize that developing on Ethereum is kind of like working at a part-time job with no room for promotion, they're going to want to go to other chains and ecosystems that are way more scalable. They're going to be used by higher up enterprises.
But you understand why that
makes sense. And
do you know that's why they're switching to POS?
They're pure proof of stake, yeah. Algorand, if that was your question.
No, but I'm saying, like, the merge is happening this week. It takes care. A lot of the stuff that you're saying right now is like, there's a reason why. Like, it's not just like them just moving to POS for no goddamn reason. It's like there's a reason.
Because if they actually had the foresight to develop a chain like how all these other chains are doing, like say XRP, like the only upgrades XRP is doing, for example, is XLS 20 NFTs. They're not actually doing full-on upgrades to lower transaction fees and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And that goes to the point of how these chains focused more on producing a product rather than just marketing and getting it out there first, essentially. You know,
Ripple is marketing. Ripple is marketing XRP also.
Right. That was the point.
Well, Alex, with having a proof of stake, when you're using something like Algo that is being also used by DARPA, because we all know that DARPA uses Algo, you don't want something that's proof of work where other people can get consensus inside of that. You want to control the consensus through proof of stake if you're using something for defense contracting.
Listen.
And that too. Plus, I mean, I'm not trying to do the whole team jersey thing. I'm just saying, like, there's just other stuff out there to check out, because it kind of just limits yourself when you kind of just focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Source, I have 44 assets. What do you mean I'm limiting myself? What do you want me to buy all 20,000?
I'm not saying but just going off of what you just said, bro, like you just pay attention to.
Yeah, I pay attention to real protocols. And yes, I do have Algo, and I have other things that I feel are real assets to hold on to, but I'm not getting into all these other things. I made that mistake, 6-8 months ago. I was getting into things that people were saying, oh, you got to get into it and you got to look into it and you got to be open-minded. And I went ahead and said, you know what? David's going to be open-minded. And you know what? David went in and was open-minded. And you know what? I got fucked with no Vaseline.
But at the same time,
I mean, you mentioned that. Look at these coins on the TV. Like, they don't mention any of these coins on the TV. And I think like that's kind of like that's also I think that's kind of a something like I would correct if I was an investor is I wouldn't really worry about if it's on the TV, because I feel like if it's on the TV, essentially there's either a narrative being pushed or they essentially want me to buy that coin, and that's not how I operate as an investor. You know, it's like watching Kramer and going off his plays because he's on TV, and you're kind of being
Source, you're not listening to what I'm saying. When people mention cryptocurrency, they say Bitcoin. It has nothing to do with anything else. They just automatically Bitcoin is mentioned. Like when you want to tell somebody what is crypto, it automatically the conversation leads into Bitcoin. It does. Like anybody can fight me on this. I hold bags of XRP and I've been holding them for a very long time. Like you want to talk about diamond hands? My hands, like, look, you can go ahead and visit the YouTube channel. Do you see these wrists? This is the reason why they're so solid is because I've been holding these bags of XRP for a very long time. Okay, like extremely long time. Look,
I'm just letting y'all know.
You see this? You see that? You see those cuts? Yeah. I know I exercise, but this shit came from XRP bag holding, okay? And I'm still holding. So
after being in this space for so long, David, you have to admit that our smell test has become pretty goddamn strong as well. We can go into these rooms, we can go into these projects, go into these other cryptos, and just sniff them out. We can tell nowadays.
What's your caliber of, like, what do you think? What do you think makes a project valuable? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, I'm gonna say one thing. You have to have a community behind any project. That's what makes it valuable because like somebody has to use it, right? Somebody has to use it. You could be Cardano and come out with like the best tech ever. And I'm only basing this on, Charles's words. Like this is Cardano's great. Like Cardano's great. But like where's the community? Like who's using it? Nobody's building on it. Nobody cares.
Do you think community is really the driving factor?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Yes, it is. People use dollars.
Right, but do you think dollars started as a community-driven effort, or do you think it started because it was a thought-out?
Now we're playing semantics. Like really, this is semantics now.
When you say dollars,
but the thing is, like, community isn't the driving factor. It's really not, because you can say it about NFT projects, and that's total BS too. You know,
NFT projects are BS.
Just bro.
Okay.
They're obviously
no, but simplify. It's desirability. You can't tell me you can sell something if it's not desirable. Period.
Well, it goes back to
and that ties to community. But that's what it is. If a car looks like ass and it's not marketed, ain't nobody gonna want to buy it.
Community desirability. There's a bunch of people that have a hive mind.
Which is why it's so strong. It's because there's a strong community driving the demand for that.
I think it's a little. Exactly. I think it's a bigger scale than that example. But if you have a collective group of people together and they kind of form like a hive mind, and it's like a consensus among a group of people, doesn't necessarily mean that they can just will it into reality. You know what I mean? Like you actually need people to want to work with it, like banks, and not just a group of people on Twitter. Essentially, like. You gotta have to like look at it in a global scale, for instance. And if we're talking crypto and we're talking, world change, it can't just be our little slice of America. We have to think about other regions of the earth and how it may impact them in a way. So scalability is a big thing, right? So we're just gonna keep on forking Ethereum. We're gonna keep on adding, forks of Bitcoin, and
is getting gold, is mining gold efficient? No, it's not. No, it's not. Exactly.
What is that?
You said other regions of the world, aka communities, and you're gonna buy something if it's desirable, right?
I would like to add two things.
I don't understand what that point was, but go
ahead. Well, he made a point.
Desirability, feasibility, viability. Definitely the scalability.
I desire some of that steak right now.
Yeah,
they're not buying gold because they're being told to by their newspapers and their social media.
It's my proof of stake.
Intrinsic value. You know,
That's a nice
that's
proof of
why they
stake.
find
Yo, he
it.
said proof of stake, y'all. Wait a minute.
It's my proof of stake. No, I agree with some part of Sauce, but I would like to add onto it as well that I think the people that run a project are very, very important to look at, the due diligence behind the team that's working on it. And I also think that adoption by enterprises as opposed to retail is also a form of community that doesn't really represent into the numbers that you see on marketing. And it's something that's often forgotten.
Without a community, without people using it, like you guys know, like you're missing the point. If there's no community, if there's nobody using it.
A blockchain doesn't necessarily have to be used in the currency.
Oh my
It's a
god!
blockchain.
Oh my god!
So
Okay,
you
fine.
Want, you
So
want some random clown in one person to use it. People have to use it. They gotta desire it. That's it.
Well,
it's so simple. It's human psychology.
Well, yeah, that's simple. Yeah, that's simple.
Guys,
for example, you have a blockchain that's going to be used to protect your digital identity. Then no one can invest right now or see it as a big community project. But if the nation state says, "Yeah, this is mandatory, you're all going to use it," now how is it not being valuable?
Okay, so say they mandate it, right? They mandate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next is what
you're
the user.
You're focusing on 4% of the people in crypto right now, as opposed to the 96% that have yet to adopt it.
No, all I'm saying is that people have to use it, and for people to use it, friction has to be low and has to be desirable. That's it.
You hold on. So which token do you think is going to, or excuse me, which protocol do you believe is going to get us to adoption faster?
I believe it's going to be few. I don't believe it's going to be one. I see these tokens.
Okay, so who has opened up the doors for adoption?
So let me finish my thought.
No, you cut me off. You've cut me off 5 times. So I'm gonna finish my.
I'm not going to argue.
Okay, cool. This is my room. You don't like it, you can get the fuck out. Period. Like, I'm tired of being cut off in my own rooms. I give people a fucking microphone and I can't speak. Like, literally, listen to this is episode 57. I am sitting back and being super cordial. I can't get anything in. Like, holy shit. Like, you motherfuckers like sitting here and listening to yourselves talk. Like, that's not exciting. If you want to win, then you won. Now you can leave. You won. Go tell everybody in the neighborhood you won. You won the argument. Congratulations. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin is opening the doors for everyone else. Do not think for 1 second that your whatever project you're into is actually opening the door somewhere. Because if it is in some sort of country being discussed to being implemented there for monetary reasons, it was only because Bitcoin helped open the conversation. You sound like a bunch of maxis. That's the problem with this space. When you stop appreciating the shit that went ahead and started this shit, and you become so toxic and you start wearing a fucking jersey and you're trying and you're literally sitting in your own echo chamber trying to get a win. No, nobody cares. Like right now, I'm telling you, half the room is sitting here like you ain't winning. I'm learning nothing from this conversation except that you don't like Bitcoin. Bitcoin and Ethereum to you are analog, ancient technology. They can't do shit. Meanwhile, every conversation that you have with somebody, the first thing that comes out their mouth is Bitcoin. That's it. Right now, let's look at the news. Crypto news, right? If you type in crypto news, you have Ethereum Merge that comes up on every single media outlet. Every single media outlet, Ethereum Merge. And they're talking about CPI numbers and how Bitcoin and Ethereum have been affected. Nobody else. Nobody else. They're not talking about Algo. They're not talking about XRP. They're not talking about nobody else. By the way, I hold Algo. I hold XRP. I hold VeChain. Like, do you want me? I can elaborate on my holdings. I'm not scared. I can care less. But they're not talking about... The only time they talk about VeChain is when... And shout outs to VeChain for the contract. But The last time I heard about VeChain was during the UFC fight, which I paid for to watch Nate Diaz fight Tony Ferguson. They mentioned on UFC's programming VeChain, a great layer 1 solution. But they had to pay for that. They had to pay for that. When people talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum ain't paying for it. And yes, community is super important. If you don't have people that support a project, then I don't know who the fuck is using it. And somebody said about blockchain, well, you don't really need any, bro, like, we get that. Blockchain's been around. Like, the system's been around. Shipping services, boats can let you know about blockchain. Let me unmute. Go for it. I'll lay back now, since I appreciate on my own show that I can actually talk. I appreciate it for once that I'm not fucking cut off on my own show, that I actually can say a word. You imagine the concept? Having a show where you can actually say something on your own show. What a concept. And then people telling me I'm cutting them off. Replay all these episodes from 1 to 57 and tell me when I've cut somebody off. I don't cut nobody off. I let you have a fucking mic.
Thank you, David. Thank you for specifying that, bro.
Can I cut you off now?
I'm not trying to, like... I mean, you asked me a question, and I was answering.
I didn't ask you a question. I absolutely did not ask you a question.
Yo, why did you answer this?
I didn't ask you any questions.
Bro, you're just a soy boy, bro.
Yo, how about you get the fuck out of here? How about that? My room, my rules. Fuck off. Like, seriously.
Can we change the topic? Like, why do you bring that shit back up again? Like, come on, man. Get out your feelings already. Move on from this shit. Even Caribbean was talking about something else. And he left.
Right?
Yo, I was like, did he wait to say that this whole time?
I know.
No, I threw him off. Like.
I was about to offer David some vanilla mocha latte.
One thing is that being a professional griefer, just because you don't speak with a lot of passion or aggression in your voice doesn't mean you're not antagonizing and trying to start a fire. That guy first started with saying Bitcoin's trash and then continued over and over just talking over people. So, troll's going to troll. It is what it is.
Well, he didn't say it was trash. I think you misheard the word he said, but I do agree that he came up with a different intention than what we're doing here. And I'm like, yeah, this is not the space for it. That's not what we're about here.
No, he did say, he's like, it's e-trash. He was making like a reference to the...
Did it? I thought he said...
Nah, he was taking shots at me the entire time. Like, oh, so you only do this. And only...
NFT's a scam.
Yeah, you only in Bitcoin and Ethereum and that. It's like, come on.
Someone that's trying to promote something. Like, we get it.
So fucking come up, say, you know what? Come up, Caribbean, he can come up here and just say, hey, I just want to promote. I just want to promote the latest...
He knows he can't promote it in here, so that was his way to, promote it without, saying that it's promoted. But we're not saying
it came up with a full-on shield, though. Yo, when you asked what protocol, he said it protocol, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, this is some shit he probably has, because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that was.
Just fucking yo, Dave, can I get like a 30 seconds to shill my project? Go for it.
Right, all you have to do is ask.
No, as soon as you say it, I'll throw you off the fucking stage.
At least he's
trying to disguise his chill as questions.
Right.
Yo, people might think I'm aggressive. I'm not aggressive. I'm passionate. Like, I hold Bitcoin. I hold Ethereum. I hold other assets. I'm happy about the assets that I hold. I know that not all, the assets that I hold, I know that not all of them are going to win out. But that's me understanding that not every single thing that you get into will win. But you hope that you do the due diligence and the research to get into projects that have a chance to succeed. That's it. That's really, how I go about things. If you want to come in here and start fucking playing semantics and fucking getting on my nerves, then I'm going to fucking kick you out, and you're not going to interrupt me when I talk. Because if I show you the same courtesy, I let motherfuckers here talk for like 20 minutes straight. 20 minutes. I've had people talk here for 20 minutes straight. And sometimes the most boring shit. Some of the most boring people come up here to talk, and I allow it to keep going. But no, absolutely not. You're gonna give me the same respect I give you. Period. Period. You ain't gonna cut me off unless you got a good point. Then we can go ahead and get that debate
I
on.
think the funniest thing was when he waited 4 minutes to say, "You cut me off though," and I was like, "Bro, you really?"
Yeah, he waited, and then yeah, is what it is.
Man, like
has dropped below 4,000 in the last 10 minutes or so. We've dropped to 39.84.
Really?
It's ridiculous. The CPI numbers at 0.2% is acting like it came in at 10%.
Right?
And we have double-digit inflation. Does not make sense.
This is pure manipulation, James, at its finest. Like if you
So-
know the markets, you know this is straight up. Look, it's manipulated when it goes down. It's manipulated when it goes up. But like this is straight up. Like this doesn't even make sense at all.
Hector, see you laughing.
Hector's got a fake. Hector's got a fake, like stalkers on these. I see a Hector fake trying to speak. You see that down there?
Oh
That's
my
my
god.
apprentice. He follows me everywhere I go.
Oh my.
Think of him my like on-demand assistant.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Does he poop when
I
he
have
poops?
to say, the lamb had
He wipes
been up for a while now. Don't know if you noticed.
I was too fucking scared to cut David off.
I know, like, maybe I need to point that out.
Yo, what's going on, Lamb?
All good, man. How are you?
Good. How's everything on your side?
So no, I just wanted to say thanks for the intelligent conversation and the space. And I'm just wondering, you know, we're talking about doing your own research for so many different things. Does anybody actually do their own research on David before they fucking open their mouth?
No. They just read one. They read one thing. Like they'll read into like one tweet and they're like, "Oh, I'm coming in to get this motherfucker. I'm gonna get this motherfucker." Or you know, obviously, if you come at me, you know, maybe somebody will start following you, and that you know I can get some retweets and likes and shit, and then I could tell mommy like, look at me, look at this tweet. I got like 5 people who liked it and 7 people who retweeted. Like it's fucking annoying, man. Just come up here and speak. You know, talk the talk, man. Like yo, educate people in this room. Like seriously, I'm not the smartest person in this room. I always say that. Like I'm willing to go ahead and sit down here and have a great conversation with people, you know, throwing out their takes on this space and even things outside of this space. Like I'm always writing shit down. I'm literally always writing shit down and I'm open-minded to everything. Relax, guys. Relax. I didn't mean that. I'm just saying I'm open-minded to everything. So I mean, speak your piece, man. That's really it. We don't need to start trolling. Go troll in a different room, man.
Yo, David, do you? Okay, so this is a question leading to possibly some info, but it depends on how you feel about it. Do you think that well, when I say digit, I mean including, you know, characters and things like that. Do you think 3-digit numbers and characters are going to start blowing up eventually for ENS names?
I think so. Look, I tweeted about this shit. I'm late to the party. Like I
Cool.
blew aside ENS domain names. I really did.
Cool. So I can put you on with a shit ton of different ones that aren't even minted yet or registered yet, because I know a lot of them right now. But I just can't afford them because you know how you can tell when they're worth a lot is when the register price is stupid high, right?
Yeah.
Like they're fucking high and they're 3 digits still, 3 character. Well, numbers and characters no, but I mean, I've got a bunch. So if anybody wants some, let me know in DM and I'll send you like one of them because like yeah, I wish I could get them, but I can't right now. There's a lot.
The only reason why I let Acid chill just now is because he gets up at 4:30 in the morning and either he goes takes a piss and gets high, or like today he said he was nah. I was taking a dump and I was washing my hands, so I was being courteous. That's why I let him do that just now.
And that wasn't even a shill. That's not from my own bag because that's helping everybody else get involved with this shit. Because I'm not making money.
Are cool and they're in demand because you can't get .coms, .cos, .ios anymore. And so, what are startups and things being built on the chain going to come up with? They're going to use the ENS domain over any other ones, especially when it's new like this. So no, it's definitely going to be a hot area to grow.
So I wanted to talk about the CPI number real quick. I was listening to a conversation today in the morning from mainstream media. They said the reason the numbers came back the way they did, 0.2 higher, 0.2% higher, is because people continue to buy food. Think about. I want you to sit back and think about that statement. People are continuing to buy food, and that's why the numbers ended up where they were. So, are you looking for people to starve? So hold on. You're looking for people to starve. So are we expecting now the Fed to sit back and say, you know what? We'll forget about 0.75. We're going 1%. Like, because I can see it happening. I can see the Fed coming out because they already told you. They warned us. Pain is coming. Like, pain is coming. I can see them come out and say, you know what? Next hike, 1%. Thoughts, ladies and gentlemen?
Dude, well, David, check your DMs. I'm sending you two of them so you can see what I'm talking about.
Acid, not right now. CPI.
Oh, yeah. Okay, can I just say as well that the numbers that are being released are really fluffy for most people. It's up 500% since 2014. People can't wrap their heads around this shit. Just because it's gone down a tiny bit, that sparks a massive reaction. And like everybody loses their minds. It's like the Fed's printed so much money. This is not going away. This is staying here for decades.
Money supply is also going down.
What's going down, Hector? What?
Money supply has gone down.
Okay. I was waiting for Hector to just say something fucking negative.
No, I think that there should be a 75 basis points, maybe, who knows, even 100 basis points by the Fed.
It's going to be 100 basis points. There's no doubt about it. Like, if he already warned us, like Powell came out last time and warned us that we're going to experience pain. Well, these numbers coming out today, which honestly, like, it's just a little. It's not like it was like James said earlier. It's not like it was like at 10 or 11, which it probably is. I'm just saying, but the official numbers, it's like 0.2. Like, it's like it didn't go up that much to go ahead and have this type of reaction. No,
but the thing isn't the amount that went up, which is still a number. Like, it's the fact that it continued to go up, which is the negative part.
Okay.
They forecasted lower number, forecast did not come in. Like, then they're like, oh shit, inflation is still here, and it didn't meet our criteria of us expecting inflation, because they still expected inflation, because they quoted 8.1. They didn't say 0, right, or 2 or 3. They said, no, it's still here, but it's worse than they anticipated. So therefore, that's a reaction that's negative.
But we had the numbers be off by 0.2 two times already prior to this, so it's like it's nothing new. But the markets didn't react this way.
Right, but the thing is, you have a prolonged. It's not stopping. Like, it hasn't gone. Those were better because the time frame was before. Like, it was a smaller time frame. You're still now you're months out, and you still have an even worse expectation than what you had hoped.
So you're saying it's compounding, essentially.
Exactly. Like, it's not going away. And the reason, and this is after price hikes, right? Like, before there weren't as many price hikes. Interest hikes. Now they have to continue to have interest hikes in order to even combat the small increase that we're still seeing. That's the why it's so negative, is that we've done things to try to mitigate, and it's not changing.
Fellow on YouTube, I'm going to read some comments here. Leo Luna says, I am about to buy $69 of Bitcoin right now. David got me pumped. He also said, asset high as fuck again. Let's also read another one here. Leo is all over the place here. He's really typing here. He's like, right now they are trying not only to control rates, they want to control it all, manipulate like a mother, man. We have another person who Key Beats chimed in and says, I guess this is about acid here. I'm about to be high again.
That was actually me. That's me right
now. Okay, great. Thanks. This name here, that name there. We have somebody said, no, he's good. They just overtalk him for a bit. So apparently it was me who was the problem, that I'm being accused of overtalking this man when I literally said like one word before being cut off like 19 times during the damn conversation. So shout outs to this hero, Captain Savaho. Nick the Greek says, "What the hell happened? Seems like David is on a rampage." No, I'm not. I'd like to talk in my own room. Like I would like to, if I could just get a sentence in, it would be fucking phenomenal, man. Because I share the mic and like to get a sentence in here, it's impossible. It is really impossible. So we're gonna stop that. Full stop on that shit. So, do we believe that manipulation? It doesn't only happen when shit goes down, but when shit goes up. Like you don't think like these big or the 1%, I should say, was expecting this and they were ready to go ahead and do what we're currently seeing today?
So I don't know what goes on with the 1%, but I've seen the crypto industry grow, and I've seen manipulation at every level within crypto when it comes to exchanges and tokens. So if it's happening at these low to high levels in our industry, I'd presume it's hard to not to presume that people up there were doing it as well on Wall Street.
Anybody else have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it feels like we're in Mario Party. Like it's unpredictable. One day it's Boo, next day it's Bowser, then it's like back-to-back Bowser, then flipped upside down. You know, is what it is.
It's
some side games in there. Chance time.
You know, it's
But
crazy.
like instead of like a balanced chance time, Goombas like rigged it, so it's like you don't even know. So
I think people within our society are just now waking up to the fact that there's something fucked up with our system. I really do believe that. I hear it more often now when I'm in real life. Like in real life, you speak to people and they're like, "Man, the system's really fucked up." Like, and now you have more people, or at least I have spoken to more people that talk about inflation more often than not now. It's not brushed away anymore. It's like, man, like how did we get to this point? The cost of living is high, especially in New York. New York, man, cost of studio is like $3,000-$4,000 per month. A studio is $3,000 to $4,000 per month. You need, in order to live in New York, you need to make about $250,000, and that's to afford a 1 to 2 bedroom apartment.
So, David, do you see this being a possibility of a full-blown depression rather than a recession for a couple of quarters?
You know, James, like I don't know. I was saying a few months ago, I didn't even. I thought we would have this little recession for a few months and then we're out of it. But like, I'm not confident in the people that are leading this. And
I agree with you, Dave, 100%. And I think more and more people are going to start finding out that they have a better quality of living, not living in New York, not living in San Francisco, not living in Seattle. There's a better quality of living in places like Idaho, Arizona, Texas, the Dakotas, Iowa. It's just, you get more for your money, bro.
But it's not. It's well, what I'm talking about. I was referring to the feds. Like, I don't believe we have the right people in place to get us out of this situation. That's the problem. Like, we don't have the people that caused this are still running shit.
Kind of like Biden. Arizona is not the best place to live, y'all. Let me tell you right now.
Oh my
People
god.
on perks over here slumping on the sidewalks, falling asleep with their back crowded down like a hunchback. You ain't ready for that.
Yeah, no, Phoenix is bad right now, bro. Like, Phoenix has gotten bad because it's such good weather there all the time. And so, yeah, people are hitting those perks like crazy there.
I mean,
you want to know how bad cost of living and how bad society has come? I'm in the south of Spain. I'm in the process of moving to Arkansas because things are so fucked. Right
what? How the fuck did you go from Spain to Arkansas out of all places?
Dude, I'm serious. I can get a house, $300,000, really nice house too, in Arkansas, right? In the north of Arkansas. Okay,
beach is beautiful in Arkansas.
I'm burning through savings right now because my energy bills went from like maybe $100 a month to now like $300, $400, $500 a month just for existing.
And I agree with you right there. That's the point I'm making. My mortgage on the house, I got a 4,000 square foot house, $1,500 a month. Paid $240 for this house, bro. It's, I mean, what you get for the money when you leave New York and California and you get into the middle of the country, the quality of living is so much better, guys. It really is. You can raise your kids. You can send your kids to school without fear. I mean, I can go down and get a license the same fucking day. Why would you deal with the crowds, all that hassleness, and then the expense?
I listen. Again, I'm going to state this again. I think we don't. I personally believe we don't have the right people in place to get us the fuck out of this situation. The same people that got us into the situation are still leading us out of it, and they have no clue. They've like if you look at their facial expressions when they talk, you know they have no clue. They have absolutely no fucking
Who
clue.
got us in this situation, David?
Hector, I told you many times, so like I'm not gonna go back and forth. Not the people. And if you're gonna say that the Congress represents the people, like no, the people, us in this room, did not get ourselves into this situation.
Can I share my theory on what got us there?
Yes, Lam, absolutely.
My theory on what got us there is allowing corporations to run away and take mega profits unchecked and not tax the fuckers and taxing the poor people more than they were taxing the corporations.
Bro, they do tax the corporation. What are you talking about?
Okay, so you look at BP and companies like that have made 1,000% profit over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there, Lamb. And then another part of the factor was you had companies moving their funds out of the United States, taking corporate tax breaks from places like Puerto Rico, Tuluva, this and that, and they get out of their normal tax code of what they have.
That money is, how is that money? You can't, wait.
Is Puerto Rico in the U.S. or out the U.S.?
It's part of the U.S. And there's a literal stipulation. And this is not like how you're saying it. Like in order to get a tax break in Puerto Rico, you must be an entity of Puerto Rico. So no, this is not happening by corporates because most corporates are not in Puerto Rico. So
you're saying that taxing more, okay, because it's not that they're not being taxed, they're not being taxed enough is what I mean. So by taxing the corporations,
why do they need to be taxed more? I don't understand more. Because
if you
look at the world, like look at the United States IRS revenue, right? Like revenue is generated by taxes. Did you know 70% of that tax is coming from the top 1% of taxpayers? Already.
I agree with you. But
do you also know that salaries have not risen in line with cost of living for the last 30 years?
That's because of what's happening in terms of the technology. Like right, like we have a much
what is that? That doesn't even make sense, Hector.
It does, because now people can that's what makes these companies great. Like Google is such a great force, Apple is such a great force because relatively speaking to their workforce, they can influence so much of the world and do so much more work, right, quote unquote work, with less actual labor. So they're able to pull in a lot more money with less people they have to pay. That's why the averages go down.
Right, so it has nothing to do with profiteering and outsourcing that to other countries where they can get cheaper labor and not taxing corporations enough. It has nothing to do with that.
It's solved in 2 words: gatekeeper economy.
No, you guys are saying that if taxes were to be raised on corporations, people would cut jobs.
It's so simple. Forget tax, technology. Hi, sir. We have 80% unused land in Canada. Let's build homes. Great, yay! We put these homes for sale. We'll figure that out.
You can't just say we'll chalk it up and we'll figure it out later. You gotta propose a business plan.
I am going to agree with
Hector. You can't present a business plan if you can't build on that crown land, anyways. It's not, if that's closed.
I can't.
That's back to the government. The government's deciding that, right?
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Hector on this.
That's why I say gatekeeper economy, because that's what Canada is.
I'm going to agree with Hector on one topic. When it comes to the corporations. So, like, they get taxed. They get taxed. The whole 0% thing, like, people focus on 0% or they pay 0% in taxes or 0 in taxes. Okay, so let's look at a company like Amazon. Amazon was going to in Long Island City until it got voted down by the Democrats. They were going to build a facility which would have it would have employed 32,000 people. 32,000 people, which would have then brought in from 32,000 people alone revenue, and and the surrounding area would have been able to also cash in on that revenue. But we voted that down because of politics. I'm giving you an example. Like I
Specifically AOC, yeah.
yeah. And you know what? That hurt 32,000 people who right now might be looking for a job. And it would have been great because Amazon has great benefits. I know people who work for Amazon, they have great benefits. They do right by their people. Some people think that people should get more pay within Amazon. Okay. But what I'm saying is 32,000 jobs could have been created. And we voted against it. So for me personally, and which leads into the tax part, if a company is creating 32,000 jobs and revenue is coming from that, which, and when I'm talking about revenue, that revenue goes to the United States of America, I'm okay with Amazon not paying a certain tax. Like I'm okay with it because they're creating jobs, which is super necessary, and they're growing. Like that facility would have helped grow Long Island City. Literally, Long Island City would have been able to grow. Instead, what is our name? AOC went ahead, made sure that that shit did not happen, and the people of Long Island City lost. They're the ones who lost because now maybe half those people don't have jobs. You have no revenue in that area, and it's actually a pretty good area to go ahead and build in. But Amazon could have started a real, like they could have started not only Amazon hiring 32,000 people, but other businesses would have said, okay, Amazon's here. Let's go ahead. Like Walmart could have came out of nowhere and said, okay, Amazon's here. Well, we're going to build something here. Maybe real estate guys would have said, you know what? Opportunity here, 32,000 employees. Well, I'm going to take my money. I'm a real estate broker. I'm going to take my money. I'm going to invest into properties by Amazon because I know 30 out of those 32,000 people, maybe 1% of them want to live really close to their jobs. Revenue, more change. Like it just, I know people get stuck on this, like the corporations, they pay nothing. But can we also look at the other side of it is how many jobs do they create? How many people are working for these companies that are living comfortably? Like, what's enough tax? Is it, well, Elon paid, how much did Elon pay in taxes? Like $11 billion? Was
Elon is the single person in the history of the United States to pay the most tax ever.
So he paid $11 billion in taxes, right?
While
No proportion.
Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are saying tax the rich more.
No, so my whole point is if Elon Musk paid $11 billion, they still talk about him paying more. How much more should he pay? Like 11, that's a lot of money. He paid a lot of money to the United States.
The guy was literally leading the forefront of their whole.
Do you remember when he trolled AOC and Bernie Sanders about the hunger thing? When they were talking about, oh yeah, you could solve world hunger with your money, and he's like, all right, let's do it. Like, tell me how much money you need, and I'll do it. And nobody could answer it. It's a lot more complicated than that. Honestly, when you think about it. And going back to Hector's and David's point, I've worked in tax. I've worked for one of the largest tax company in the world, and I know it's a lot more complicated than people think it is in terms of thinking, oh yeah, it's tax the corporation more and blah blah blah. It's a lot more than that. Yes, there is an issue, but it's not taxing more. I would say it's more about fixing some of the loopholes that we already have. And it's true that there are instances of people taking advantage of those loopholes and not paying their fair share in tax. So that's true. It's not a lie. But at the same time, It's just that instance of people thinking, oh yeah, corporations don't pay taxes, just tax them more. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, if there's tax already and they're not paying, taxing them more is just gonna, affect those that are already paying taxes, and having them be penalized for the ones that are not paying because they can get away with things through certain loopholes. So it's just a matter of actually closing those loopholes, as opposed to raising taxes or doing all that crap that people talk about all the time.
It's the very simplest idea. Like, the reason there's loopholes and the reason there's breaks and incentives for businesses is because what do? They generate more people to pay taxes.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
That's
I'm not
the
talking
whole
about
reason why it's beneficial, why they get the tax. As you as a person who's an employee of something, you don't create economy. You don't generate more people to pay tax. You are the recipient of all that work. So therefore, you're the end of that loop. So what you must do is pay tax as part of it, and only to a certain threshold, and most likely at a lower rate than the people who are generating economies and creating bigger economies and creating more taxpayers. So it doesn't make any sense, this argument that, like, oh, we should just tax these people more, when you look at the actual numbers, 70% of all taxes are coming from that 1%, which are most likely the people generating all these economies, which is allowing people to have, great jobs and be able to do their thing and spur up local economies.
This is a little bit wrong in the sense that he paid 41%, 11 million on his income, which is fine. That's what I would expect to pay with that kind of income in most countries, right? But Tesla paid zero. So,
but how did Tesla pay zero? Examine that. The reason that Tesla paid zero is because they had zero income. They reinvested all their earnings
because they sell their carbon neutral tokens to other companies.
But the thing is, they didn't have any revenue to tax on. If they had revenue to tax on, they would have to pay the tax. It's not that they're circumventing the tax code. It's the tax code is there, and if everything was done illegally, something would be wrong. But they're not doing anything illegally. There is no revenue to tax. Therefore, they're not being taxed. But individuals who receive income or have ownership on selling, they are being taxed. Like, typically, like when Elon sold his shares, he was taxed $11 billion. When anyone receives a salary,
let's not dress this up, though. It's not a case of legal; it's a case of moral. He's selling the carbon neutral tokens to other companies so that they can.
Who is incentivizing the carbon neutral tokens? Who's incentivizing the carbon neutral? It's the government incentivizing because they know that they can create more jobs that way. That's the incentivization of giving this tax credit. Otherwise, the beef isn't with Elon. The beef is with the U.S. government. If you don't agree with it, he's just doing what the government's telling him he can do.
Yeah, like if he's doing like what Hector said, I agree with most of what everyone here is saying. If he's just doing tax avoidance and doing what he needs to do, hey, you do what you got to do. Like, he's not breaking any laws.
So going back to the loophole issue, as opposed to the tax needed to, it's more about anything in terms of people thinking, oh yeah, it's just tax them more. It's not really about that. It's about certain. And when I was talking about loophole, Hector, I like I said, I've worked in tax and I know what I'm talking about. I'm not necessarily talking about corporations being able to take advantage of certain incentives. I was talking about mostly about estates and wealthy individuals that are able to actually benefit from certain loopholes, and that's what I was talking about, not necessarily corporations. I understand, even from a business owner myself, how important it is when you have individuals that are creating jobs, how important it is, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like you are helping the government collect taxes on those individuals because, hey, you're paying their salary and whatnot. But going back, it's a lot more complicated than people think. It's not like a one-part solution. Just raise taxes and everybody's will be happy. It doesn't work like that. And it's proven that every time we give government more money, what happens is just they need more money. It never ends. It's a never-ending cycle. It's just it's a lot more complicated, and I get it. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, just raise taxes, but that's not the solution, and that's not how things are going to get resolved.
Exactly. So that's when individuals in their communities must then basically hold accountable the people that they're picking to do what they do, because they're obviously not doing a good job. And that's where I think the issue is that these people are not the most savvy and are obviously not good with money. So why are we having them in these positions?
I don't know if you noticed, things started going down the crapper when we started, just electing individuals, just, that has, pretty much literally a company. Like if you were a business, you would never hire those people to, manage anything. But somehow it turned into we are electing, because literally people will turn to politics because they don't have anything better they can do. Like they ran out of things that they can do, and they're like, all right, then since this doesn't require any qualification, I'll run for office. And before you know it, you have a bunch of people making decisions based on things that they have no freaking clue about. And it's just going to continue going down that path, and that goes both ways. I mean, I'm not just saying that for Democrats or Republicans. It's just that's literally what politics have become, and we are the ones suffering. And you just hear people going on the internet and telling people, oh yeah, you just need to raise taxes or do this and do that, and not having any common sense as to how economies work.
But there are plenty. So from what I'm hearing, I've been sitting back for a while. There are plenty of places in the United States that have good economies that are running their economies well. Plenty states that are in the green that are not in the red, and people need to start looking at those states very hard.
Oh, look, for example, I'm in Florida. That's a good example.
Well, you have no state tax.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
and
have no.
that's the point. You would think.
Shout out Florida.
Yes, you would think us not having state tax means that we have less revenue coming to the government, and like we were doing a lot better than most states. Especially California was doing, during COVID, or not because we're open. I'm just saying in general, because of the fact that it's not about giving government more money. Because, like, at the end of the day, once you start giving them more money, they just start asking for more. It's like you just filling in, and it never stops. And you get into that situation where they always need money. Like
it's like your kids. It's never enough. They always want more. You know what I'm saying?
It's like if you ever watch Dragon Ball Z Majin Buu, it just never ends,
It just keeps going and going and going, Alex. I agree with
exactly.
you. My state as well does not have a state income tax. We didn't have a single COVID restriction whatsoever. Stayed open for business the entire time because our Constitution does not allow for governments to shut down businesses. Now, with that being said as well, we are one of the states that are in the red. There's not even 1 million people in my fucking state, no state income tax, but we all live well.
Yeah, and again, it just, I don't know, like it's crazy, and I'm like, it's very hard for people to get it, yet it's so simple. You know what I mean? It's very simple, because during that conversation that they have in government walls, where they have to use up their budget, right? Whatever amount of money. Like, first of all, when they are asking, or they have those proposals and asking for money, they don't really understand the numbers. I feel like they think like $1 billion or $1 trillion is just like a BNT. They don't really think about the amount of money that it is. Like, they don't see it the way that they should see it. So they're just asking for, outrageous amount of money without really any real understanding of the ramification of those funds. And then once they receive it, they have to use it. So they just, waste it all, and then next year just ask for more as a way to tell you that, they've been working.
Yeah, everyone's bringing up really good conversations about relocating. Viking talking about, cheaper, affordable homes, cost of living, buying power. Caribbean talking about, over in Florida, no income tax. Tax is really not a black and white situation. It's very complex. I really like, even Hector, like, you bring up a lot of good points. You really emphasize on, this is really resonates with me, is like the personal responsibility, personal accountability, and like those quote unquote elected officials. Like, if they're doing a trash job, why aren't we going up there with, just saying like, hey, we need you to do this, we need you to do that. So we can't just whine at our wall, at our ceiling. So you bring up a good point that it's like, it's not that simple. And those corporations are also creating a lot of jobs too, like you said, right? They're stimulating the economy. That ties into what David said. You make a mall, other stores come, all of a sudden a Costco wants to be there, a Walmart wants to be there, etc. So definitely good stuff. I think,
because it's a super necessity, Alex.
Sophisticated global issue, right?
when you say like when you say Costco, right? Costco has to come in there because like, oh my God, there's 32,000 people. They're not all coming from Long Island City. They're coming from all next to the woods to come there. So now Costco's like, yo, we if I'm a food provider, I'm like, holy shit, like this is a great opportunity for me to set up shop here because people are gonna want food, right? People are gonna move in here. Great opportunity for a real estate broker.
Look at the growth of. Okay, this is gonna say. Look at Sioux Falls, South Dakota, over the last 5 years and their population growth. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, now has more restaurants per capita than any other place or any other city in the United States.
I don't even know where South Dakota is, bro.
Shut up! Oh my God.
What is that? Alaska?
None of it.
No, seriously, where is South Dakota?
If shilling your state was a person.
Look, okay, in the U.S., all I want is Florida, okay? I want that South Beach.
Listen, all I know is in New York, we get taxed for everything. We get taxed for oxygen. Like
you get taxed in New York for going out the front door, man.
Like you wake up in the morning, you're taxed. Like, like okay, but like, Cali and New York, literally, we get ringed up really good. Like without us, there is no economy. That's the truth. Without New York and without Cali, there is no economy. Yeah, we don't get any benefits. We get zero benefits. By the way, it's 11:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Show sponsored by Unstoppable Domains. Thank you very much. Appreciate you sponsoring the breakdown and also the late night news. Guys, if you're looking for an NFT domain name, go to GokhshteinMedia.com. Click on the link. Go get yourself a domain name. Have fun with it. I didn't think much of the ENS domains, and I lost out on a lot of opportunities. So check it out. Shout out to Unstoppable Domains. Also, if you're going out, if you want to be a part of Bitcoin 2023 out there in Miami, since Alex brought it up, well, we're out there. We're one of the official media sponsors for the event. Go get yourself a ticket. G Media 2023 is the code to save yourself 10% on your admission into one of the largest, or if not the largest, Bitcoin event in the world. So just wanted to touch on that, throw it out there. Shameless plug, but it has to be said. I will go ahead and roll this show. I will go overtime because yesterday I ended the show 15 minutes early, and that was only because I had an interview for Gokhshtein Unfiltered, which comes out on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be speaking to Scott Melker, talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum. We touch on a lot of assets within the space, and then we went outside of the industry to go ahead and just have a conversation about his thoughts on a few topics. So check that out, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That drops. Good conversation here today, except for the guy who came in here. And now as you guys have been talking and dropping knowledge, and I'm very shocked that we have Hector in a conversation to where people are agreeing, including myself. I almost fainted. You guys can go onto YouTube and replay it because I literally almost fainted by saying I do agree with Hector on this point in regards to companies and how we tax a company, but we overlook the fact that they create jobs, and 32,000 people paying taxes is pretty good revenue for the United States government. I'm just saying those were 32,000 people that weren't paying you, but now they are. But unfortunately, AOC had to go ahead and her and her cronies had to nick that in the butt. But
is she not let's get on AOC real quick. She is the most intelligent, stupidest fucking woman I've ever seen in my life, bro. Meaning the policies are so ignorant, but she's got to be a mastermind to be able to become a congresswoman. And at this point, she's more of a social media influencer than she is a politician.
Listen,
Yeah.
Obama did the same thing when he was running. Obama was the first person in politics, I believe, to master social media. Him and his, obviously his entire campaign. Why did Obama get
Oh,
elected
bro,
into office? Because
they
Obama.
wiped I'm sorry, Dave. They wiped the floor with Hillary in that first Democratic primary when he was running, and when they used Facebook for the first time, that was like 2012, wasn't it?
Tomorrow's title for the breakdown, episode 58, will be "Every time David speaks, he gets cut off." That'll be the conversation tomorrow. It will be David Gokhshtein continuously gets cut off on his own show. He can't even get 5 minutes in 2 hours because people will just cut him off. That's tomorrow's topic. Why does he keep getting cut off? By the way, the guy who was cutting me off and claims that I was cutting him off, here's the funny part. And
Dave, you just cut me off. You just cut me off.
I'm sorry. I apologize. But I went ahead and had so if you look at this guy running around, running his mouth, he's into Algorand. It's funny that I brought up Algorand, and he's an Algorand maxi because I've read his post just now as you guys were talking and I was listening in. And it's funny. Guess who gave Algorand attention? Oh, that's right. That podcast, episode 10. Didn't I bring on the CEO of Algorand? Yes, I did bring on Sean Ford. And we had a great conversation. And I asked him the questions. And even Sean admitted, Sean himself said that the branding and marketing can be better. And great, congratulations. The deal with FIFA, is a great deal. No doubt about it. It's a great deal. It's a start. But that is the first thing they've actually done. It's the first thing that they've done. That is major. But everything else, we're not talking about the protocol. We're not saying anything bad about the protocol. I like the protocol. MIT guys were behind it. They created something really good, but you need a good community. People need to know about it. How do people know about something if you're not putting it out there? And that is marketing. You're getting confused with shillers and marketing.
No. I'm going to open an amazing restaurant with the best point of sale system. I don't even need a single customer. What do you mean?
Point exactly. It's like you have, first of all, when I talk about branding and marketing,
this tech. It's the best point of sales.
When I talk about branding and marketing, I'm not telling you to hire some shiller to go out there for one Ethereum and say buy Algorand. No, what I'm saying is you need to bring in somebody or people who understand how to educate the community about the protocol that you're trying to put out there. Nobody wants to hear code. Nobody understands C++. We talk about this all the time. Nobody understands Python. Nobody knows anything about Solidity. Even the people that are coding with it, they have a hard time with it. They literally have a hard time with it. So, like, you're trying to explain to people how a protocol works in code, they are going to leave. First of all, half the people that come into this space are looking for gains. They can care less about the protocol. It's when they finally stay and become a fan of the protocol because of the community being educated about the protocol and being able to explain it in layman's terms, that's when your project starts winning. It wins when you start having a community that can dumb it down for the next person and put it to them in layman's terms. That is marketing and real branding, not the shiller that goes out and says, hey, guy, get into this. Can't miss opportunity. Buy it. Okay. So I'm actually a fan of Algorand. I'm not a fan of Maxis. I'm a fan of Algorand. I'm a fan of their protocol, but they need better marketing and they definitely need better branding. Hopefully that happens. And if it doesn't, well, they'll end up like Cardano. And if you guys are going to hate me for this comment, it is what it is. Charles said, I don't need marketing. I don't need marketing. People are going to come to it because it's dope. We got a dope protocol. Well, how's that worked out? And he said that 2 years ago. So how's that worked out for Cardano? I don't think it's worked out too well. So You do need marketing and you do need branding. And right now, unfortunately for you, and I'm going to look dead into this camera, unfortunately for you, at this current time, whether you like Bitcoin or not, when people talk about cryptocurrency, they talk about Bitcoin. That's it. They're not talking about anything else. The only time they will talk about XRP, mainstream media will talk about XRP, is when they talk about the SEC case versus Ripple. Other than that, they're not talking about XRP. Ethereum, they're talking about Ethereum because of the Ethereum merge. Period. And they don't talk about Ethereum as much as they would talk about Bitcoin. That is the current situation. Maybe 5 years from now, that'll all change. But I'm living in the present. I'm not living 5 years from now. Yes, things can surpass shit. I didn't never thought I never thought my MySpace page would go obsolete. I put in so much work into that MySpace page, learning HTML to make all these little glittery things and songs pop off.
What was your profile sign? I gotta ask this.
I will go ahead and put it out there because I think I'm the only one left there with Tom on MySpace. But MySpace got wrecked by Facebook. Facebook slowly went about it. Word of mouth hit. Goodbye. It happened. Same thing with Yahoo. Yahoo was the search engine. And before that, what was it? Alta Vista? Whatever. Like, Yahoo got taken apart by Google. And they had a chance to buy Google. But Google came in and now they've cemented their place. Like, somebody might one day overtake Bitcoin. It is a possibility. Nothing's impossible. But like right now, when people talk on mainstream media about cryptocurrency, they are not talking about Algorand. I'm going to give you one more thing before I stop. Here's one more thing. The mayor of Miami, when he first became popular, what the hell happened just now? My goddamn thing turns off. Really? Really? Oh man, that sucks. Anyway,
Did you get rubbed?
no, I didn't get rugged,
Me
man.
too.
My camera turned off.
Yeah.
It couldn't handle the excitement, but yeah, ask about it. Anyway, listen. When the mayor of Miami said that he will accept his pay in Bitcoin, he also accepted half his paycheck in Algorand. Did you hear about it? No, you didn't hear about it. And maybe for the first time, you're hearing about it in this space with me right now. Right now. But you know what? He got Bitcoin and Algorand. Where was the marketing from Algorand to go ahead and say, guys, we also went ahead and have the mayor of Miami taking his paycheck, half of it in Algorand? That's poor marketing. That is poor marketing.
For me to just be hearing about that today, I'm down in the trenches, Dave, and that's the first I ever heard of the Miami Bitcoin or Miami mayor taking Algorand. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah,
Same.
same.
Use that as a catalyst for marketing. I agree with you 100%.
But going back to your point, David, can I say something? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back to your point, people think, I guess projects or, they think marketing means, spending ad dollars on X and Y and Z things, but they're not realizing that also, educating people is a form of marketing, right? Making sure that you putting content out there that translates in a way that anybody that's not in the space can understand and those different things, because again, people are still doing research and still investigating into the world of cryptocurrency. So just having information or building a platform where you can educate people is something enough where you don't have to necessarily, go and, get X, Y, and Z influencer. Your camera is back on, by the way. It's
Yeah, I
just,
know. Like I'm like, I can't believe it. Like it went off on me like that.
Now, wouldn't you think though that a lot of the things with Algo, and I kind of want to defend Algo here a little bit, is really tight-lipped because of DARPA. And what I mean by that is, okay, so like Algo, Special Forces units have real-time information, real-time messages that are sent to them, sent to their HUDs via Algo. That's how they encrypt their messages with their battle forces right now. The U.S. military is through Algorand. So why do not more people know about that? And I think that's why Algo is so tight-lipped.
No, I think they just don't. They never focused on marketing, and I had these conversations when Kelly was still a part of Algo, but she left now to Arrington, Arrington Capital. But like the marketing, they people think it's you can't take Web 2 marketing and branding and put it into Web 3. That's where a lot of companies are failing. They think they can bring a Web 2 marketing firm into Web 3, and they can understand the landscape here. They don't. They don't understand it. The people within this industry understand how this industry operates. I can speak about G Media from a G Media standpoint. We understand how to market and brand because we understand the community. A Web 2 marketing firm does not have a grasp or the pulse of the community. You can't just feed them the same things you were feeding them in Web 2. Like, think about how many people have come into this space to try to, put up an NFT, and how many of them failed. Like Chris Brown, right? He has millions of fans. No, Chris Brown has millions of fans. You would think, with the right marketing, he would have sold out his NFT project, right? Did he sell out? No, because you just can't come in here and expect like somebody's gonna buy your shit. John Cena, who has millions of fans across the world, millions of fans, he didn't sell out his NFTs. He fell flat on his face. I'd like to see the numbers on Tom Brady. I like to see Tom Brady's numbers with autograph. I guarantee you they're not doing very well.
My bad. Floyd Mayweather, someone did a project with his name using called Floyd Mayweather versus something like that, and it flopped too as well.
There you go. Like,
yeah, remember Chevrolet?
Bomb.
No one bid it on that one NFT or something.
They bombed, and that's the problem, and that's a big problem. So that leads, I'm just telling you, like, branding is essential. It is. Yes, is it great to build the product first? It is. But also don't forget, like, you're going to need a community to go ahead and use your project. You really do. Like, look, Hector, I don't know what shit you're going to give me right now, but you know what? You talk about BSV being, great, right? But like the one thing you suffer with is you have no people on the platform. So no matter how great it is, no matter how much you think it's better than Bitcoin or BTC, let me just make that distinguish here. Like, at the end of the day, like, there's nobody on there creating. So no matter how good it is, it doesn't matter. It just does not matter. Like Bitcoin, Bitcoin is like Lamborghini. Lamborghini doesn't go out there and market because they don't need to. You're not getting where I'm coming from. Like Lamborghini and Ferrari, they don't market on any channel. They don't. You'll never see a commercial with a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. You just won't. Because people already know. It's already synonymous with like supercar, luxury supercar. That's it. People already know that. And that's the same thing with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's like when people mention crypto, those are the two things that come up. That's it. They don't know, no advertising is needed. Everything else, unfortunately, right now, being that we're so early, we are still early. We're babies. There's only 5 to 7% people. I believe it's only 5 to 7%. I don't know if they're the actual numbers, but every room I go into or have a conversation with a person, it's either 4 to 7% of the entire globe is in right now. So I would think that we're still early. Maybe in 5 years, some of these other projects will have their names said alongside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but unfortunately, right now they won't. So branding is big. Build your community. Word of mouth is the best kind of marketing that you'll ever get. I yield my mic. We also have 12 minutes to go until 12. Hopefully, my camera holds up. Don't know why it's shut off. Maybe I was just bringing that energy that you guys are used to from 2017 when I was live streaming out of a BMW and just ripping apart projects.
You know what I think that means?
What's up?
Camera going off. Miami Heat's gonna take the next finals.
Stop it. I already, like, right now, the Giant. By the way, I just want to say the Giants won. Okay, the Giants won against Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans got their ass whipped by the Giants, and Saquon Barkley ran crazy on them, like crazy, unstoppable. My dude is back. I pray that he doesn't suffer any injuries. If he can stay healthy, this dude is going to rush for, I could see it, 2,000 yards. And here goes Jess. Here goes Jess. You because you mentioned the Miami Heat, Alex. You know how she roots for a team and they start losing? Like, she rooted for the Rangers. The Rangers lost. The Rangers won.
Yeah.
She started like, okay. She rooted for she was rooting for the Miami Heat. What happened to them? They lost. And now,
So now I know why Jeremy Butler missed his last three.
There you go.
Now I know who to blame.
Have you seen her new profile picture? It is it's an NFT now with a Giants jersey on it. Like, what the fuck? Really? Like, can I not? I've been watching the Giants lose since 2000. Like, I've been a Giants fan forever. They haven't been winning since 2016. Can you please remove the You know nothing about football. Can you please, you jinx, remove the goddamn PFP? Burn it. Send it to a burn address. I'll pay whatever you paid for that NFT. Please do not jinx my Giants. We already have a starting quarterback that has no clue where he's throwing the ball. Please do me a favor, solid. Burn that goddamn NFT. I will pay. I will send you Ethereum. And I know Ethereum is not your favorite platform. I know you hate Ethereum. I know that you want to see Ethereum burn to hell. But please remove that NFT.
If somebody has an Aaron Rodgers NFT, please send that to Jess immediately.
Aaron Rodgers looks like a crackhead. I needed to say that.
He now looked like he was stealing fucking Cadillac converters before the game, bro.
He looks like my mechanic. I don't know.
Proof of catalytic converter.
Oh my god, those are the hot things going right now, right? That's what's hot on the streets right now, right?
Well, yeah, that's what's really hot in the street. People don't take rims anymore. They get underneath and they strip out your Cadillac converter.
Let me ask you this question, guys. When Congress talks about cryptocurrency, what's the first cryptocurrency that comes to mind? Bitcoin. Right? So Bitcoin's the first thing that they talk about. And what do they say about it? Some say, hey, it's a good thing. We should look into it. And most in Congress right now say that, oh my God, global warming was started by Bitcoin. Literally. You got the Senator Warren is sitting there and talking about, Bitcoin literally eliminated the dinosaurs. We must go ahead and tackle this issue.
Yo, it's funny when you're saying that, and this is crazy. I didn't think about this before until like right now. But you know how you got a family tree, right?
Yeah.
And like the person on the very top, like the oldest ancestor, everybody gets blamed for that one, kind of thing. What if they're all just like, you know what, we're blaming everything else that's happening under Bitcoin on Bitcoin. Fuck it. And they're like, whatever you guys are all doing wrong, they're gonna blame it on Bitcoin, basically at this point. Wouldn't that be crazy shit?
It's easy to have a boogeyman that nobody understands, bro.
Yeah, like, I mean, because they could just blame all of us and be like, we don't know who Satoshi is, but we'll just blame the people under it. Fuck it. Start with Bitcoin. Like,
Right.
Oh my God, Hector. Hector was good until he had to say that shit.
On BSB. I'm like low key,
It's literally in court right now, guys, in Norway.
Oh my God.
Gokhshtein Media is not covering it, detail 24/7.
You know, I don't like getting political sometimes, but that is exactly what happened after 9/11. They just blamed everything on Iraq, and they were like, yep, everything that happens is Iraq's fault. Let's go kick their ass.
Well,
They can do the same thing with Bitcoin.
so I don't know. Answer. Hold on. Hector said, "Why isn't Gokhshtein Media covering BSV?" I don't know. I'm not the editor, nor am I, you know, overlooking the content that's coming out. Ross McDonald is actually in the room. He would have the answer for you on that. I don't know why we're not covering BSV. I don't know. I just don't believe Craig. Really, you after this kind of conversation, you gonna talk about Craig Wright? Really?
It's relevant, dude. It's literally
Oh my God.
I don't believe it's him personally because.
Well, do you have any claim as to why, or you just have these nice little feel goods as to you?
No. I just believe that like people could be lied to about who it is at the same time. Just just to like change how they're already feeling by this stuff. You know what I mean? Like their own perspective, because somebody else is gonna think a different way. You know what I mean? So we don't like to be like, oh, everybody should think like this because it's just basically.
No, but there could be some sort of objective truth, right? Like, but you say you believe this.
Anything is possible.
Why do you believe it?
Oh, why? I just think anything is possible regardless.
So you don't have any opinion. You say anything is possible. So any realm of possibility could be true.
Yo, I'm just saying, like, man, think about it. Satoshi could be anybody. It could be Epstein. It could be Bill Gates. It could be it could even be Robin Williams, and you would never know. Right? It could be.
That's what I'm saying. That's why this opinion is irrelevant to me. Like, with all respect, right? The opinion is relevant because you're not actually, your opinion doesn't have any backing as to why you believe that. Why you believe he's not. Like, it'd be great to understand why you didn't believe and there's actually something there.
Oh, why not?
Well, yeah, because you said he's not, so I'd like to understand why you have such a belief, rather than say, oh, I don't know, I don't have any education behind it, so I'd rather just not pick a side. But you're deciding to pick a side and say no.
Oh, yo, I'm the first disclaimer. I gotta say this first. I'm high as hell, and now I get what you're saying. I was like, wait, what? Okay, I get it. So when I said it's not him, then I said it's could be anybody. Oh yeah. But
got it.
Yeah, it took me a minute, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was really like, what is he talking about? But all right. So basically, because one, I mean, shit, nobody else is like in the face off saying it's them. So it's like, if anyone else did, they'd be like, damn, they're about to go clashing now next, the two people and Craig Wright and whoever else, because think about it, if someone else was to come on and say it's them, right? They'd be like, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna get paid to get shut up, hush money or some crazy shit? Or is it gonna be like a crazy ass trial, between the two, all of the kids doing a court case? But like, didn't the last case that he had something he tried to do and then it didn't go through? What was it again? I forgot.
The last case was against Peter McCormick, and he won.
He didn't win.
He literally won.
Won $1.
Case I was talking about.
Did he not win?
Stop. He didn't win. He won nothing.
No, he won. He literally won the verdict.
He
also now they're going to make the claim. Now they're going to. So it's going to take a couple months, but now it's going to come back and see if they can also get all the attorney's fees, which are like $2 to $3 million that McCormick would have to pay.
If there was news about BSV that popped up and that people were interested, we would cover it. But honestly, I don't see that sometimes. So it's just, it doesn't make it to the top of the list. So
you have people all over Twitter Spaces with Huddle Not defend Bitcoin avatars, and they're literally talking about it day in and day out right now. It's the second day of the trial.
Yeah. It's not at the top of the list. There's not a lot of people who doesn't get high engagement. Well, we can cover it if you want. If you really want us to, we can cover it. We can show you the numbers and be like, hey, you didn't get much engagement. And it's like, well, what would we accomplish? I don't think personally Craig Wright is Satoshi because the Genesis block of Bitcoin was mined under an IP address in Van Nuys. I say it, Van Nuys, California, and he was in Australia when that happened. And he anytime anyone asks him that question, he's like, whatever. He's like, yeah, you were on a farm. So it's like, okay, there must be some sort of comment about that.
But hey, tell us what's going on with BSV. Like, make us excited.
Oh my God! Like, really? Y'all gonna ruin the show.
Yo, he didn't want to hear that.
Oh, y'all. Dow came up to
people are excited, man. That photo alone got people excited. But like, what's going on with BSV?
Dow, really? You know what? I'm gonna fuck up Crypto and Coffee as well. Friday at 10 a.m. I'm there to fuck it up. Yeah, I swear to God, I am going into everyone's project. You know what? You guys want me to be open-minded? I told you I'm the counter, and I was like one tweet away from being Jim Cramer. Watch this. If Jessica does not remove that fucking NFT, I am telling you, I am buying into every project. Yo, your project is going to zero. Literally zero. Like, yo, Bored Apes is suffering right now because I am holding a Bored Ape and some mutant apes and other lands. Like, I am I am that dude, bro. Like I will fuck it up.
Are we gonna call you Steve Gokhshtein or David Ayuki
It,
next week?
it doesn't matter. You could call me these nuts because like I am going to plant them on foreheads and until that NFT is removed. That NFT, yo, I want my Giants to win. Long time suffering New York Giants fan. Like you don't remove it, watch. Watch. And you know what? Terrible father, because that's the one who went ahead and did all this shit. I'm gonna find out what his favorite project is too, and I'm buying into that shit too. Look, ask all of them. Ask Sheeb. I went to Sheeb, all of a sudden that shit tanked. I'm holding losses. I'll take it. I'm there.
I gotta say the tears are a nice detail. The tears for all the New Yorkers gonna be crying when Miami wins.
Say that again.
There's tears on the NFT. It's a nice detail. You have the jersey and the tears to go together.
And on that note, went overtime. I want to thank everybody that was here today. I want to thank Dow for finally coming up here and I don't know, participating in these spaces or on this show. Shout outs to our sponsor. I'm gonna say it again, Unstoppable Domains. Thank you very much for sponsoring this show and the late night news. We appreciate you guys. Can't wait to go ahead and work together and put out some more educational material in the Learn Crypto section of GokhshteinMedia.com. And again, if you want to go get yourself an NFT domain name, go to GokhshteinMedia.com and cop one. Also, shout outs to Bitcoin 2023. If you want to go to that event, 10% off. Use the code GMedia 2023 to get your tickets for the biggest real Bitcoin event in the entire world. And on that note, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back with episode 58 tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have some more stuff to talk about. My name is David Gokhshtein. Akil Patterson is not here today because he is claiming that he is sick. Bullshit on that. But on that note, also Wednesday, tune in. Gokhshtein Unfiltered, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm talking with Scott Melker about the entire space. On that note, my ass is out.